Hey guys, so sorry I have not posted anything in a long time. I've been very sick and I was coughing a lot and I lost my voice for a while. I'm still not back at 100%, so I don't know how much content I'm going to pump out until, the voice comes back and I stop coughing so much. But I wanted to get this one out because I know that the Lupinus Kaigan came out pretty recently. And while I'm not going to be doing a full in-depth video on her, because one, I don't quite think she needs it as she has pretty much standard jobs, and she's also been in global for a long time. Everyone should know what she does. I wanted to go over why you should care about Lupinus and why you absolutely should 100% Kaigen her. So, Lupinus is one of the units that I consider extremely core in fire. She's absurdly core. Like, you need her. You just straight up need her. And the reason you need her is because of her, I think it's Argatha or Agatha summoner. I forget exactly what it translated to in global. But it's pretty much that reactive. Yeah. The reactive that heals and drops the fire resist, or I'm sorry, not fire resistance, but all resistances of the opponents. That is premium raid content right there. 120 elemental resist down. There's literally no one else who's going to be able to do that in global for a long time, and she is the only free unit in the game that gets actually free farmable easy to get unit in the game who has access to this summoner JE. So you absolutely want to get it. But so yes, you definitely are going to need Lupinus. She is part of the core fire raid comp that I talked about before. If you recently watched the hard boss auto that I ran, I was running Lupinus in that. And in this particular instance, I was actually running her as a Chronomancer. And that's the other thing about Lupinus. I think that she is very viable as either a Chronomancer or a Sage. I do not like her summoner. I just do not like it. Unfortunately, summoner skills are just too slow. I do not like her summoner. Now, there is a chance with Gate 5 her summoner might be saved if they choose to increase the cast time on them. Well, technically it's decreased, but for those of you who know how the count system works, when you increase the number on the cast speed, it actually casts faster. But, anyways, point being, Gate 5 might save the summoner, but for now, I just leave the summoner alone. Focus on the Sage, focus on the Chronomancer if you need it on certain maps. Definitely make sure you Kaigen her. So, for her Kaigen, you're going to want 553. And this is just standard. You're going to want the stats out of Gate 2, and you're going to want that 1 extra speed out of Gate 3 for sure. And don't forget, Loopy is pretty slow as a unit. I normally will run her as a Sage, and once Gear Kaigen comes along, it kind of fixes her AoE issue, but before then, she only has AoE on her sub. But anyways, yeah, so definitely make sure you get this. It's going to be super important for future content. We have a Lupinus enthusiast by the name of ATLC in the Discord, and he's basically run Lupinus through all hard content that's feasibly possible, and he's successfully completed all content with Lupinus. So the point I'm trying to make is she is a very good unit, and if you know how to use her well, you can really use her well. One thing I wanted to point out, I cannot remember for the life of me if you got the Lizardman Nenso or not, or if you got Lizardman or not, but she actually can use the Lizardman Nenso. Because it's basically usable by anyone who has animal characteristics, and it has 24 hit rate when it's maxed, which is a pretty big deal because she has absolutely awful dexterity. She hits ultimate hits. Otherwise, you're just looking at your standard less Nensos, if I can find them. Anything that's going to give you magic or whatever stats you want. She isn't her Nenso is more of a leftover Nenso than it is some of the other units. Emma's obviously going to want her own Nenso, and you're probably going to want to run her with Noah if you're going for a full fire magic team. And the nice part is those three are all Lust units, and they're all female Lust fire units. So you can benefit greatly from stacking up less Nensos in that particular group. As for gear, any kind of staff is going to work. Ultima staff is probably your best free option. It's easily farmable. It's got some speed on it, max jewels and magic. But otherwise, once Nina's Nenso comes out, you're gonna probably want to run that VCR. As for armor, it's really what you need at the time. Regen is fine. Life belt or like Tamamo VCR is fine. As for the last slot, once again here, most things are going to be fine. She has nothing that she specifically wants. She has no special Nenso, no special VCR that she can really abuse above and beyond. So all of my gear, all of my gear suggestions before stand. Like for instance, the Fujiga VCR is a good idea. It gives magic attack, it gives max jewels, and it's gonna even give her resist to magic and missile for the first 3 turns of a fight. Um, yeah, standard stuff on her. Lupinus is one of those units who doesn't need anything super special to do well, which is actually super nice for a change, because there's a lot of units that need like 3 VCRs and whatnot in order to be functional, but Lupinus does it just fine with your standard gear, a standard Nenso, and Kaigan. So make sure you pick up her Kaigan. Thanks for listening, as always. Sorry if I do sound a little bit sick. I know my voice is a little shot, but I'll try to get some content out as soon as I can, but I mostly need to rest up and try to get better. So thanks for listening and watching as always, and I will see you next time.